even been told to not fly on commercial airlines.
Well, Jake, here is what we do know. We know that the CDC came out today and said that this woman should not have stepped foot on a plane. We also know that the CDC says that their guidelines say that there should be limited travel if you are considered possibly exposed to Ebola. That's what we do know. However, the CDC was very unclear in their explanation as to whether there is an individual whose responsibility it is to make sure that someone who is being observed does not board a plane. At this point, there is no indication that a system like that was set up to prevent this person from flying. But now the CDC says they're going to change that. The CDC is contacting all of the passengers who shared flights with 29-year-old Amber Vincent, the Dallas nurse now infected with Ebola. Vincent took 2 Frontier Airlines flights, first from Dallas to Cleveland, then back to Dallas. She didn't show symptoms at the time, but in a telephone briefing today, CDC Director Tom Frieden said she never should have stepped foot on a plane.
And although she did not report any symptoms and she did not meet the fever threshold of 100.4, she did report at that time that she took her temperature and found it to be 99.5. So by both of those criteria, she should not have been on that plane.
Vincent developed symptoms the day after her October 13th flight to Dallas, raising the question, were any of the other 132 passengers at risk?
We are going and will always put in extra margins of safety, and therefore they will be reaching out to all of the passengers and crew of that flight.
In a statement to CNN, Frontier Airlines says they responded immediately upon notification from the CDC by removing the aircraft from service. The airline says the plane was cleaned the night it landed and again today, but it is still in use.
The Frontier Airlines aircraft has been decontaminated twice at a remote location on the airport. That plane has since, well, in about 30 minutes, that plane will be put back into service. There will be a scheduled flight to Denver using that aircraft.
One public health expert says this case is another example of a flawed system.
What's staggering about this is that we've done so many tabletop exercises for novel pandemic flus and SARS and all of that, and yet the first case of Ebola in real life, it doesn't work.
So again, worth noting here, the issue here for the CDC is reaching out to all of those passengers who are on board the flight. They say that the risk is low, but still they want to follow and track these people. They gave out also a 1-800-CDC number for anyone who is on board this flight to contact them if they have any questions. I tried that number. It's worth noting the wait time, 390 minutes. So it's a pretty long wait there for that phone call to the CDC. Also, just coming into us here at CNN, 2 lawmakers calling for a travel ban, renewing that call. Once again, we've been hearing that from a lot of lawmakers, stopping travel to the West African countries most impacted by this. But we've heard from the administration, last we heard from them is that they are not considering that at this point, Jake.
All right, Renee March, thanks so much. Those 2 lawmakers, of course, Congressman Schuster and Senator Thune. Thank you, Renee. Coming up, stunning new allegations from the